Okay, Clash of Champions 2020. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Clash of the Champions, but I'm trying to fight that off here. Show was kind of a mixed bag overall. There was some good, some bad. This was kind of weird because two matches had to be dropped from the card completely. The SmackDown Women's Championship match between Bayley and Nikki Cross was dropped because this is all for quote medical reasons, and I can't necessarily say that it's because Nikki Cross may or may not have tested positive for COVID, but you kind of have to think of this case. But also the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Baszler and Jax and the Riot Squad got dropped as well, and that situation would be addressed on Raw Monday night. And Bayley will have a match to address or something. That was said that they would have an announcement during the show, which I'll get to. Like I said, I can't say for certain these are all because of positive COVID tests. Nia Jax tweeted out that Shayna Baszler is apparently expecting, but that could just be ribbing. I don't know if I ever... Yeah, unless Baszler herself confirms this, I wouldn't jump to any type of conclusions there. But still, like I said, basically this caused a major reshuffling of the card. Match that was supposed to be on the kickoff show was moved to the main show, and the show on the main show was moved to the kickoff, and basically only one of these matches was really replaced, which I said we'll get to. Anyway, let's start off with our kickoff show match, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Cesaro and... anyway, let me try it again. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Lucha House Party. In this case, Kalisto and Lince Dorado. Storyline going in is that Lince Dorado and Kalisto and Grand Metalik have kind of been arguing over who is exactly the head of the team. It seems that Dorado and Metalik actually work together a lot better than Kalisto and anyone else, and it seems like he's getting shoved out, so he's trying to reassert his control. Kalisto came in, he hit a senton into a head scissors, he then followed that up, Lince followed that up with a missile drop kick. Right then Nakamura kicked Lince Dorado off of the turnbuckle. The champs isolated Lince Dorado at that point. He eventually got the tag, but Cesaro pulled Kalisto off of the apron. Kalisto eventually got the tag, like I said, and hit a crossbody and jumping DDT on Cesaro. He then, Lince came in and helped Kalisto hit a tornado DDT off the ring apron onto Cesaro. But then Nakamura threw Lince into the barricade and then blind tagged Cesaro, and they hit the swing kick Kinshasa combo for the 3 count of the victory. Yeah, this match wasn't that spectacular, and afterwards nothing really happened, so I don't know what this furthering of the storyline is going to be. I still think at some point Heavy Machinery is going to cash in and win the Tag Team Championships here, but I don't know what the deal is with the Money in the Bank briefcase right now. I know there's something with the Miz going on, but yeah, it's like I keep sort of tuning that part of SmackDown out, so it's just really kind of yeah, falling apart right there for me. Anyway, moving on to the show proper from there, we have the triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. The champion Jeff Hardy, the champion Sami Zayn, and the former champion AJ Styles. Right off the bat, Hardy whipped Zayn into Styles and Styles into the corner. Hardy hit a basement dropkick on Styles. Styles came back, hit a dropkick ladder into Jeff Hardy. Zayn then hit an Asai moonsault onto Styles. And Sami Zayn was just great in this match. I'll just tell you that right now. Styles dodged a crossbody from Hardy, who then landed on it. Jeff Hardy had set up a ladder upside down like this, basically, and tried to hit a crossbody on Styles. Styles dodged it and sent Hardy crashing into that ladder so that the little supports in the ladder hit Hardy in the ribs. And then Zayn hit an exploder hit Styles with an exploder onto the ladder. Excuse me. Hardy hit a poetry motion off the ring steps, but then Zayn caught him with a haluva kick over the ring barricade. Hardy and Styles then went after Zayn, who was basically he was trying to sneaky sneak up the ladder, basically. Zayn then toppled Hardy out of the ring on the ladder. At one point, Styles and Hardy were fighting on the ladder, and Hardy, realizing that Styles could just easily knock him off, elected to tip the ladder over and try to also take out Sami Zayn, but Zayn got his knees up and blocked it. This fought some ring. They fought on the ring. They fought outside the ring for a little bit. Boy, I don't know why I'm getting so marble mouthed here. Sorry. As this happens, Zayn. They fought on the outside of the ring. Let's see. Topples Hardy out of the ring. Styles hit a flipping death drop DDT off the announce table. Hardy hit a swanton bomb on Zayn through the ladder. Hardy then toppled Zayn off Styles off the ladder as he was trying to climb it. But as this was happening, Sami Zayn pulled out 2 sets of handcuffs. And while Hardy was disoriented on the outside, he attacked Hardy with a ladder and then handcuffed Hardy's ear piercing to one of the ladders. He then got Styles. He tried to handcuff him to the ropes, but Styles came back, started trying to hit a move, and in the process, Zayn elected to just handcuff both of them together. And they're like, why would he do that? That's the stupidest thing. Why is Sami doing this? But again, because Styles could not climb the ladder with Zayn just staying on the ground, Styles elected to fireman's carry Zayn up the ladder, but then Hardy managed to somehow get in the ring, holding his ear up to the ladder, on the ladder, and managed to get into the ring just enough to get Styles' attention. And as this is happening, Sami pulled out the key for the handcuffs, unlocked the handcuffs, and then hooked his hand of the handcuffs to the ladder, so now Styles can't climb the ladder. And though Styles managed to knock Hardy down, he couldn't climb up the ladder, and then Zayn climbs up and grabs both championships to win. So yes, Sami Zayn is once more Intercontinental Champion, or still Intercontinental Champion as he claims. This match was amazing. It was a hell of a start to the proper show here. I love the fact that Sami Zayn came back and won. It's again, it's like, it really makes a lot of sense to do that. I think he was really working as a heel champion at that point. Hardy and Styles can move on to other things. I mean, I think it's time. I mean, both those guys have been champions multiple times before. This was, I mean, it's technically Zayn's second championship, but he hadn't held any other singles championships outside of NXT. So yeah, it's something I'm really kind of looking forward to. This match, as I said, was amazing. They built in the high spots just right. Everything was fun. And like I said, thanks to Zayn's shenanigans, it just made it even more enjoyable. Okay, our next match is the Raw Women's Championship match, Asuka versus Selena Vega. Right off the bat, Asuka whipped Vega right to the match. She then called for a test of strength. But Vega used that to kind of get a quick cheap shot on Asuka's arm, and then further exacerbated the arm injury by pulling Asuka off the turnbuckle. Vega had an arm wringer and locked on a cattle mutilation hold. Vega then came into head scissors and followed with a double knees in the corner. Selena Vega hit a Listo kick and then tried to get into a victory roll formation. They rolled through a couple pin attempts, but then Asuka locked on the Asuka lock and Vega tapped out soon after. Admittedly, and then as this happens, they said, Asuka got on the mic and said, "Admittedly, I took you a little too lightly. You're a better competitor than I give you credit for," and kind of said, "You earn my respect." She went for a handshake, but Zelina Vega instead chose to bow, and then when Asuka bowed, she cheap shotted her. So, yeah, still a heel. This match was okay. I mean, obviously Zelina Vega is not an inexperienced wrestler. Anyone knows that. I mean, she competed in matches before this. I mean, they were intergender tag matches, and she didn't do much solo work, but still, it's like, I don't think anyone was really underestimating her that much. I mean, the only funny part was, again, Asuka calling for the feat of strength, and, Asuka's not that tall an individual in her own right, but she still towers over Zelina, so that was kind of funny, but like I said, the match itself was just kind of meh. And from there, let's move on to the United States Championship match, Lashley versus Apollo Crews, who came down to the ring with Ricochet. Right off the bat, Lashley went for like a quick roll-up, but didn't quite work. Crews clotheslined him out of the ring and followed that up with an outside moonsault off the apron. Lashley caught Crews and hit him with a flatliner. Crews shoved Lashley into the ring post. Cruz then hit a crossbody off the apron. Lashley hit a superplex. Lashley went for the Dominator, but Apollo Crews fought out of that and hit he knocked him down and then hit his standing shooting star press and followed with a frog splash. But then Lashley immediately caught Crews with a spine buster and locked on the full Nelson with Crews tapping out. So, yeah, this match was pointless. I mean, just pointless. Why bring Ricochet down to the ring if he's not going to do anything? Like, have him get involved or something. Like, he got a little bit involved because it looked like MVP was trying to interfere, and he told MVP to stand down, and they kind of he stared at Lashley for a bit. But then, while Crews was getting beat on, he just stood there and did nothing. Like, you know, personally, I'd like to see Ricochet turn heel. Again, I think the idea of breaking up the tag team of Alexander and Ricochet was stupid. You could have had both those guys turn heel and done something with them. But, yeah, they just haven't been doing that. I don't understand what's going on. And then you have them come down here and look like an idiot and just stand there the whole time. Like, heck, you know, even if you don't want to turn him heel, have him do something and get tossed to the back. That would have worked. But no, exactly. He just looked like a prop there. That just kind of cheeses me off, you know? He shouldn't be used like that. Okay, our next match is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Street Profits against Andrade and Angel Garza. Again. Okay, this match actually proved to be a little more interesting than one would think, in the sense of what happened here. Like, starting off the bat, Dawkins got caught in a headlock by Andrade, and his headbands fell off, and then Dawkins hit a big drop kick, and then Ford came in and hit a big drop kick, but then Garza and Andrade actually started working together very well for the first time in, well, pretty much forever. Like, you know, all of their stuff had been very sort of cheap. They never had like that really great tag team flow to it, but suddenly they started working really well together. Like, Garza helped Andrade avoid a move. Andrade hit a missile drop kick on Ford. And then it took 3 chances for Dawkins to get a tag in. They managed to cut Dawkins off just enough. But, no, they cut Ford off from tagging Dawkins, my mistake. Andrade then hit a running drop kick and a spinning splat off of, he hit his running knees in the corner. Just okay, but Garza got a blind tag in and hit a super Spanish fly onto Ford. Andrade managed to get another tag in and hit Ford with the double knees in the corner again. But then Dawkins came in and hit a spine buster and covered Andrade, and the ref counted the 3 even though Andrade clearly had the shoulder up. In fact, he had the shoulder up the whole time. The ref was out of position. But again, given the way that Andrade and Garza seemed to work well together, and the way that the Street Profits were celebrating afterwards this kind of fluke win, even though Andrade clearly had his shoulder up, I think they may have actually pulled a double turn, and they're turning the Street Profits heel and Garza and Andrade face. Again, it would at least be interesting here. Maybe they could win the championships or not. I don't know. I mean, they've had so many chances, but still, I mean, the switch in dynamics, I think, maybe would help pump some lifeblood into this story. And, you know, again, it would be something new, which is something we kind of need at this point. So, again, like, I think this could be interesting, even though the match itself was, yeah, pretty wishy-washy, especially the ending. After that, we had an ad for the WWE Draft. That's going to be on the 9th and the 12th. First round's on SmackDown, second round's on Raw. As this was happening too, they had some vignettes with R-Truth, who was looking for gold, because it's the subtitle for this Clash of Champions was called Gold Rush, because every championship match every match was a championship match. There were no non-title matches in this. I mean, it was originally that every championship gets defended, but obviously that didn't happen, as I said there. And so, as it was happening, R-Truth was around looking for gold, and he wandered into the officials' room, and as they were like, he started to flip out. He was like, "I'm sorry, guys, I didn't mean to. Just enjoy your stuff." I'm like, "Truth, what's wrong, man? Hey, come on." And as this was happening, Drew Gulak was walking through the background, and he rolled up R-Truth for the 3 count of the victory there. Won it, but then Truth got it back later during an interview segment. So, nothing too spectacular there. It's then that Bayley comes out to talk about what happened. She had her chair that she's been attacking Sasha Banks with. She said, man, it's unfortunate that I don't get to beat Nikki Cross again. I mean, I even got new ring gear made and everything. And it's just, well, anyway, I'm going to issue an open challenge. So anyone back there wants to come out, they can come out. Okay, no one came out, so I'm just going to celebrate my victory. And as that was happening, Asuka's music hits. So now Asuka has a chance to become a double champion. Asuka immediately flipped Bayley out of the ring. Bayley tried to leave, but Asuka grabbed her, tossed her back in, and locked on an armbar. Bayley hit an armbar DDT. She then took time to yell at the announcers. But then Asuka caught her with a code breaker, and then the hip attack. Asuka hit a German suplex on the outside of the ring, and then Bayley grabbed a chair and hit Asuka to get the DQ. So, yeah. Maybe not entirely surprising. I thought maybe like Selena Vega would interfere again or something, but again, maybe that would make more sense with the because the tag match that was on the kickoff show was originally supposed to be on the main show, and Asuka's match against Selena Vega was originally on the kickoff. I think you may have seen that when they put up the title cards for it. So yeah, they switched them around. And I do have to wonder if maybe that was something that was planned, or, yeah, again, but, yeah. Anyway, like I said, the match really didn't build up at momentum, so, yeah, this was pretty much a dud. Though afterwards, Sasha Banks came out of the crowd and attacked Bayley with a chair, but Sasha's neck was still too damaged. Bayley managed to fight back a little bit, but then Sasha got a kendo stick and hit Bayley with it, and that's kind of how everything ended. Asuka didn't do anything. Probably could have. Would have been nice, but nope, that was just pretty much how it ended. So yeah, again, kind of a dud. Okay, moving on to our next match. It's the ambulance match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Right off the bat, the two just began brawling. They were throwing punches at each other. Orton managed to catch McIntyre low blow and hit the Hangman DDT. He went for the punt kick, and as this was happening, this hand grabs him, and it turns out it's the Big Show. And Big Show chokeslams Orton on the announce table. So now McIntyre's got the advantage. He starts beating Orton up towards the ambulance, but Orton managed to come back. He dodged a Claymore attempt, and McIntyre took out the side door to the ambulance. So Orton came back. He drove a chair into McIntyre's jaw. He drove a crutch into McIntyre's jaw, the jaw that was broken earlier. Both men again fight into the ambulance, but they can't close the doors just yet. McIntyre hits the glass cow kiss, and then that's where the spot with the door happened. As was happening, they then kind of fought back into the backstage area where Christian jumped Orton and helped McIntyre gain the upper hand again. They fought back towards the ambulance. They fought back to the hood of the ambulance. They got up. McIntyre started to go for a move, but Orton grabbed him and threw him down and broke the ambulance's windshield in the process. They then fought to the top of the ambulance, but Orton kind of threw McIntyre to the point where McIntyre was dangling off the side. Orton stomped on McIntyre's fingers, causing him to fall down. As that happened, Shawn Michaels got up on top of the ambulance and super kicked Orton off of it and gave the suck it sign. And then, as this was happening, again, it looked like McIntyre might have the advantage. But then Orton caught him with an RKO on the outside. Orton just manages to get McIntyre into the door, but McIntyre manages to keep it from closing. And then McIntyre got a finger into Orton's eye and hit a Claymore. He then got Orton into the ambulance and decided, no, I'm not going to close the door just yet, and set up for punt kick, which he hit, and then closed the door. So McIntyre wins, and as we look at the driver's seat of the ambulance, Ric Flair drives the ambulance away. So a bit surprising, as I thought most talk I heard was that Orton was going to win this, and the reason they made it an ambulance match was so that way McIntyre would not be pinned and thus wouldn't look weak. Also, obviously, I think a lot of people expected Retribution to get involved with this. Heck, they talked about Retribution during the pre-match, or during the kickoff show, and that didn't really happen at all. So, but still, this was actually rather enjoyable. I like the way they worked the legends into it. I mean, especially Big Show, just the way they did it. I think this is where the empty arena really does work a lot more because, you know, when you have fans in the arena, you can't have someone sneak up because all the fans, as someone points out, and then all the fans kind of divert their attention to see that person coming in. And here you can have a bit more in the sneak attack genre, so it actually catches people off guard and makes it a bit more surprising. So it is one of the rare advantages to having the Thunderdome. But, excuse me, the match itself was pretty good. I mean, ambulance matches you can only do so much with, where you put the guy on the stretcher or in the ambulance and that's it. And yeah, again, there's only so much you can do with it, but I think they did a good job utilizing it, especially working the legends into it. And that leaves us with our main event of the evening, the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and his cousin Jey Uso. Probably the strangest WWE Championship shot since probably Bob Holly in 2004. Like, I honestly can't think of one that was maybe more kind of out of nowhere. Where, yeah, like I said, I'm trying to think. I mean, all I could think of was, yeah, again, like, I mean, like Big Cass got a shot in that four-way match, but I'm not counting that. I mean, especially on a pay-per-view. So yeah, like I'm trying to think, but no, I honestly just kind of came out of nowhere. But right off the bat, Roman Reigns threw Jey Uso in the corner. Uso dodged the move and began taunting Reigns. He did a dab, and that just cheesed Reigns off. He just started dominating. Threw Jey off of the announce table. He locked on a chokehold. Jey rallied back, he hit a Samoan drop, but then Reigns came back at a Superman punch when Uso tried to go for a corner splash. Reigns then shrugged off a chop and hit a splash in the corner. Jey fought back, shoved Roman into the ring post. He hit an enziguri and then two suicide dives. He hit a super kick, he went for a splash, but Roman Reigns got up and hit a leg lariat, which is something he's not really done before, so it was actually rather impressive. Uso then managed to come back. He dodged a spear, went to a roll-up, but then hit a super kick, went for the Uso splash. But in the process, Reigns low-blowed Uso during his kick-out. It went 1-2, and when Reigns kicked out, he literally low-blows Uso to the point, Jey Uso to the point he's injured. Reigns hit a spear. Basically said, no, I'm not covering him. I'm not doing that. I want him to acknowledge me as the tribal chief because that was sort of the way they set this up. Like, Jey Uso won this match. I think it was a four-way match for a number one contendership. And as they're sort of building up to it, like, hey, no problem. But then finally they did this confrontation where Jey said, look, you're Roman Reigns. You are the top dog. I acknowledge that. But everyone comes up and says, "Yeah, I like you and everything." And then when they come to me, it's like, "Yeah, we like you too. Which one are you again?" Yeah, like I can't even be told apart from my own brother. My own brother, who's I think was 9 minutes older than I am. You're older than I am. We're all roughly the same age. We've been knowing each other for so long. We've been football teammates, and yet I've always been in the shadow. Hey, I'm not asking to be part of the table. Let me at least have a fighting chance in this. And he sort of said, like, hey, let me show that I can be worthy of this too. Let me try to make the most of this. And Reigns has, not been too. They're like I said, they're doing this whole tribal chief thing. So, Reigns this whole time is basically taunting him, saying, hey, look, man, just stay down. Like, I don't want to keep beating you. But then Uso keeps fighting back. So finally he snaps. He just said, you have to acknowledge me as the tribal chief. That is the only way this match is going to end. You have to acknowledge me. And Jey won't. He just refuses. Reigns hits another spear. Again, he just starts pounding Jey into the mat over and over again. Finally, Jimmy Uso struggles his way down to the ring, throws in the towel, and that's enough to end the match. And then afterwards, again, Reigns tries to go for more beatings. I keep trying to call them by their real names, but even Paul Heyman himself is kind of like, yeah, he's a little creeped out a bit by this too. Like, you're taking this tribal chief thing a little too seriously. Like, dial it back, man. Okay, you won the match. It's over. Let it go. But, finally, Jimmy Uso says, fine, you're the tribal chief. Now, just stop, please. And, this is basically has made Roman Reigns' heel turn full. Like, I think now it's just really complete, because now he's so conceited, he thinks he's an actual tribal chief. All due respect to the Anawahi family, no, Roman Reigns is not the chief. I would say Dwayne's still the chief. When Roman Reigns has headlined blockbusters around the world and the biggest movie star, yeah, maybe then he could call himself the chief. Not right now. Please note, I'm not saying we need a Roman Reigns Rock match. No. It's probably not going to happen anyway, because, again, Hollywood won't let Dwayne, won't let The Rock compete in matches anymore. Because when he faced Cena, he tore that abductor muscle at WrestleMania 29. Like, he got hurt, and that delayed filming on a bunch of his movies, so it's like, yeah, the insurance companies won't protect him anymore in that. So it's probably not likely to happen anytime soon. Okay, so that little rant's over. Overall, like I said, the show is sort of a mixed bag. I would say the last two matches were pretty good. The Reigns Jey Uso match told a good story. The match itself was really kind of slow, unfortunately. Like, it got a little too repetitive towards the end, but still, like I said, it's done a really good job at making Roman Reigns the full heel that he now is. So, yeah, I think that worked. But unfortunately, like, and again, the ladder match, that was great. Unfortunately, everything in between was just kind of, bleh. So yeah, not bad, just not spectacular, and really could have been better. Like, I'm willing to cut them some slack in the sense that I know they had to reshuffle the card around a lot. Maybe they had to change some matches on the fly. Yeah, but still, just, it was very, very meh. I'm going to be giving Clash of Champions 2020 a C. I know that seems kind of low, but again, like, 3 good matches and, 8 out of 8 matches, 3 good and 4, yeah, or 5, bleh, yeah, so, or, yeah, you get the idea there. Like I said, good storyline tweaks. Like I said, the double turn in the Raw Tag Team division could be interesting. If they actually follow through on any of it, I don't know, but like I said, just, again, a lot of meh, so I'm getting repetitive there, sorry. Anyway, the next wrestling show is going to be NXT TakeOver 31 recap and review. So the next video is going to be the random trade review on Young Protectors Volume 1. Hell in a Cell this year is on October 25th, I believe. Yeah, that's it. And like I said, that's pretty much it for now. So see you all next time. Hey guys, remember to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTime for Cat Productions, where you can help me expand my wrestling coverage to stuff beyond WWE, NXT, and the occasional AEW free show.